How are you, Harrison? Can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, man, I'm well. How are you?
All right, perfect. All right, we got you on a webinar format. This is my wife, Andy, and my OP.
Hello.
So awesome. Harrison, I appreciate you. We got people jumping on right now. Hopefully we jump up here a little bit. And just jump into it real fast. I'd love to hear about you and tell us a little bit about yourself and why we would have some guy from Louisiana on our call.
I have no idea why you guys would ask a country bumpkin like me to come out here. Uh, so hi guys, I'm Harrison Lilly. On the Harrison Lilly team over in Northeast Louisiana, from Monroe, and we have a team of 7 buyers agents and myself, and we're rocking and rolling. We got #1 team in North Louisiana last year, and we're hoping to take #1 in the Gulf States region this year.
Okay. All right. Appreciate for a background a little bit. Just jump right into it. What are you experiencing right now?
Obviously, we're experiencing the same thing everybody else is. That people are, sometimes fearful. They're looking for that leader, which can be us. And for us, it's getting ahead of the objection and preparing for your client's success. And if you prepare and get in front, you have a lot less questions, and they're more confident in your ability to take care of them.
Okay. So, and yeah, you're moving through this pretty well, right? You having some sales right now, getting some pendings?
So we have never been busier in our lives. Yesterday we were right over 50, received 4 contracts last night within a 30-minute span. By the end of the day, we may be at 60 pendings is what it's looking like.
Wow. Tell us, how are you doing that?
So whenever we went into this and our market center told us we had to go home, we had one meeting together at the office, and everybody took their computers and all their stuff, and we made a commitment to double down on our activities and our accountability. And I told them that if they would double down on that I would double down on our online lead generation, which has been absolutely key and phenomenal.
I gotcha. Okay. I'm jumping on. I got people. I've got this timed out. So if people wonder why I'm doing it, I'm doing kind of 20-minute sections. Give us what are you communicating? If we're double downing on lead gen, you're doubling down on your online leads. What's your scripts? What's that look like?
Yeah, so our scripts aren't super technical. We're a very relational team, and people tend to follow the leader, and that's how I sell real estate, is through relationships. And so it's just, guys, what a great time to be a buyer. With enthusiasm, you tell people this, and the rates are historically low still. And while other people are curled up on a couch and they're afraid to go see houses, let's go out there and let's avoid some of the highest and best offers. Let's find some sellers who see which way the economy may be going, right? And let's get a fair deal on the market with a low rate.
Okay, very good. All right, what does the online look like?
So we made a deal with the former regional director that we would start to use Command for our ad placement. Now we're still pointing that towards our front-facing IDX, because we don't want to lose all of our our SEO. And so that has been really, really good. We normally do all of our demographic studies ourselves and then target based on the listing. Now we're letting the AI and Command do the targeting for us, and the amount of leads and sign-ups and showing requests we've had have quadrupled over the last 3 weeks.
Wow. What's your message?
So your leads are your listing. I mean, your listings are your leads. And so we take a lot of listings. I mean, this week we're putting 7 up just today. And so we're taking those. We use professional photography and videography for everything. And with the right ad placement, you're just using that as clickbait. You're bringing them to your website, and you're becoming your own local realtor.com or Zillow.com, which should be your goal.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. So the reason we had you on is you're not just surviving, you're thriving in this new marketplace, right? Or pandemic season of life. And we're just really entering into this. We don't have it. So tell us a little bit, how do you survive? How do you thrive in this? What's that look like?
So step number one in the shift book is you cut expenses. And so the first thing we did is if it's something that we didn't have to pay for, that was just a luxury in our lives, we cut it out. And so the first thing we looked at was we cut $10,000 in a year out of our budget. Not a ton of money, but at the end of the day, 10,000 is 2 months of an admin salary, and that'll keep them employed and us happy because we don't have to do our own paperwork. Mm-hmm. And the next thing we looked at is our lead generation and our accountability. And we do a Zoom call at 9 a.m. and at 4 p.m. And the first call is, hey, what are you going to do today? What's the goal? And the 4 p.m. is the what did you do? And when someone has victory, the other 10 people on the call are standing up and they're rooting for them, and we're proud of them. And when they give us a fat zero, it's kind of like bold. Everybody just kind of, sits there, and because everyone on the team just has this big teamwork thing. Everybody wants to carry their weight. Everybody strives to beat the next person behind them. Like, oh, that person's going to go 5 showings today. Well, I got to go for 7. And that competitive spirit really keeps us going. And then if someone was doing their previous goal was 20 contacts, well, now we've set the goal of 40 contacts. So, we're just doubling down on every activity that we could possibly, measure.
Are your people getting exhausted, or is any of them getting tired?
When you're writing as many contracts as they are and they're seeing what's about to happen to their incomes, it's okay.
Yeah. How did you get them there, though? I mean, you're got some momentum and some activity. What did it take to get them all in and bought in?
I think it just starts from the recruiting process. The highlight of our team's culture is whatever it takes. And so how do we get the next client? What are we willing to do? We're willing to do whatever it takes. How do we make our clients happy? Whatever it takes. And so when it came down to this pandemic, I said, guys, other people are firing their admin. Other people are folding up shop. Other people are staying home. I desire for our admin and the people that depend on a salary not to have to miss a paycheck. And I'm going to do whatever it takes on my end. Are you guys willing to partner with me on that? And everybody said yes, and everybody agreed to everything. And not only did we survive, we thrived. Our business went up by 30-40% just in the last month.
So I'm hearing a lot of the career visioning in there. You really seem to understand what your people, your team, what they want.
Yes, so I attend career visioning once or twice a year, and it's a system I believe in, and we constantly we coach to that on the team.
So, I was listening to Gary Keller, and he was talking about the 20%, right? We realized the environment you're in, you faced reality, and you said, great, let's go to work. Help me a little bit on, we have some people that are just throwing up their hands and go, I'll wait until this is over. What would be your message to them?
You are missing the largest opportunity to take market share in your life. When we went into this, I looked at our director of operations and I said, by the end of this, I want to have 25% market share on our board. And we'd never been there before. We never had that. And today we're at about 23% of all pendings on our board belong to a team of 8 agents. There's almost 1,000 agents in our board.
Wow, that's incredible. I'm sitting on that a little bit. Is help me to go in that a little bit deeper. Just that mentality. Where does that come from? What does that look like?
They have a rainmaker who's a workaholic, and I'm a highly driven human. And again, when you go through the process right, and you bring on the right people and put them in the right seats, and they're motivated the right way, it becomes a lot easier. You don't have to push people and light a fire under them every single day if you put the right seat on the bus and you did all your work on the front end.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Andy, what do you got?
I'm just wowed. I mean, really wowed. Kudos to you. That's pretty incredible. Just your market share alone.
Thank you,
Sharon.
Yeah. All right. So let's go a little bit. You were talking a little bit about expenses, and yet you've doubled down on some activities. So we have people coming to us and going, maybe I should just shut out all my marketing right now, or maybe I should give up to save the money. And walk us through that in your mindset and how we should attack that.
Yeah, so if you're doing any form of online lead generation, now if you're buying Zillow leads or any of that, first of all, I'm going to encourage you to lead with revenue. That's what the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book tells us, and that is the handbook that I follow, by the way. So first of all, lead with revenue. Cut off any super expensive leads. Get back down to the basics, because you can generate. I looked at my ad spends the other day, and I'm paying around 50 to 88 cents a lead right now. Now, not all of those are hot leads, right? But out of the 41 that I got in the last 7 days, 7 of them were people who clicked on my site and said, "Hey, I want to go see this house." You know, "Hey, I want a virtual tour of this house." 4 of them are pre-qualified buyers. So in 1 week, 4 pre-qualified buyers, I spent $150. So Facebook market share is up. Facebook market share right now, as far as screen time, is up 40%. People are at home. People are still buying houses, and rates are still good. And so why would you let go of that market share?
Yeah, absolutely. How are you walking through some when you have consumers that have some fear and concern and they want to wait, and they're in a fearful holding on, I don't know, I don't want people in my home. How are you walking through them to find them motivated?
Yeah, so first of all, you have to lead with empathy. It would not be right of you to say that, "Oh, this is nothing, you shouldn't be worried," because they may be, or maybe they're at risk, maybe they're elderly, maybe they have an autoimmune issue. And so you have to be very aware of where they're at in their lives. And I also believe that at this time, people are looking for a leader. And if they want to watch Fox News or CNN, they're going to fearmonger. But if you stand up and be the leader in your community, which is what we've strived to do, you're going to see someone who is confident and being smart about it, taking the precautions, using hand sanitizer, carrying Lysol, gloves, masks, foot booties, preparing your sellers, letting them know what they can do. Lights on, doors open. The only door they should have to touch is the front door. Decision makers only in the house, non-contingent, pre-qualified buyers only, and then leave a little sanitary kit at the front of the door where they can, have gloves and whatever if the buyer's agent isn't prepared. Getting ahead of the objection really calms people. In fact, out of 60 listings, we only had 1 person tell us that he wouldn't show, and it's because he had an autoimmune disease.
Wow, that's amazing. I love the survival piece to it. What's your outlook in this? What are you forecasting? What's the economy and thing? What's the impact?
I do think there will be an economic impact. We're seeing more people file unemployment than ever, and I think some of this has to do with the package that's been put in place. You can be unemployed for $900 a week, and if you make $900 a week in my area, that puts you in like the top 10%. So a lot of people are taking advantage of that. Well, how are lenders and Govy loans going to treat this period of unemployment later? What's this going to do to them when they come back to their job? Is there a gap in employment? I don't know. We can see the stock market. We see that, oil's doing what it's doing. I don't know what the future holds. What I can tell you is that if you work harder than everyone else, you can have anything you want.
Yeah, that's outstanding. Andy, you got a question? You're on mute.
I appreciate you being on the call today.
Thank you.
Right, so we run about 100 people. We run about 100 people on this call, and you got on and gave us great nuggets. What's the one thing from listening to Harrison? What would you want people to take away from your call in just a short time you spent with this?
Are you directing that at me?
Yes, Harrison. Yes.
Yeah. So the one thing I would say is to take away from it, guys, is don't curl up on your couch and don't be afraid. If you believe how I do, this life is a vapor, and if it's my time, it's my time. That's how I look at it. But you can make it through this. Your business doesn't have to go down. It can go up if you double down on the activities that call success. And that's lead generation. It's accountability. It's phone calls. it's follow-ups, it's your database, it's back to the basics.
Mm. So you're all in on command.
Not all in on command. We do run it as a past client.
Give us the reality. You can be transparent. Yeah.
It is not built for big team yet. If I was a solo agent, I would be all on top of it. It would be one of the best tools in the toolbox because it's got the follow-up piece. It's got the CRM. It's got some really, if you're making flyers, you can make a flyer in 3 minutes. You can set internet ads. That website is adequate for a solo agent.
Mm-hmm.
For a big team, it's just not there yet. And we would like it to be, and we are putting it as part of our business plan because we do want to help make that. We want to help KW make that work because it's going to be good for the whole company and us when it's finished.
Okay, awesome. Remind me again what big cities, what part of the town, and if people wanted to send you a referral from the Houston area, how would they get a hold of you?
So we are largely in Monroe and West Monroe, Louisiana. Think Duck Dynasty, except for not as redneck as that show would portray us to be.
Okay.
Calhoun, Sterlington, Swartz, Lakeshore, all that fun area. So if you guys have referrals, we would absolutely appreciate you sending them over to us.
Okay, awesome. Really good stuff. Andy, anything else?
Why don't you shoot us your phone number? Tell everyone your phone number.
Yeah, it's 318. Ooh, that was my home phone number as a child. 318-732-6030. And that is my personal cell. So if you guys need anything in the area, you're welcome to text me. I'll put it in this chat box over here.
Awesome. That's very good. That's some awesome stuff. Hey, we'd love just to visit with top agents around the country. Your name was thrown to me as a no-brainer to have on, I can tell. And I love your mindset, the way that you're thriving in this time. I love that you follow the models and systems, and all I had to do was send you a text and you jumped on as well. So thank you for being the leader that you are and sharing your story.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate y'all. Keep up the good work.
Okay, awesome. Great energy. Okay, great.
You.
All right, let me grab Jean Ann. Andy, you can talk while I'm setting this up.
Wow. Hi, guys. Hope everyone's having fun, if that's the right word. Not going too stir crazy, but still getting out there, making calls, talking to the people that are in your sphere, just checking on them, just seeing how they're doing, and do what Harrison's doing. And guys, I believe exactly what he said, that this is an opportunity that you're never going to have again to take the largest amount of market share out there. It's your chance to take your unfair share. So let's be getting out there and taking it. Okay, Chad.
Awesome. All right, we're on to our next guest. We have the rock star of Highland Homes. And so, Jean Ann, and you guys have experience. Aaron, thank you guys so much for being on. Why don't you guys just start off and tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Well, hi. Okay, great. Well, thanks for having us today. We're excited to be here. So I'm Jean Ann Brock, and my brother and I started Highland Homes in 1985. And so I was the owner, and now I'm the founder because Rod and I sold the company to the employees. So it is now an employee-owned company. And so every time you come out, you're working with the owner of Highland Homes. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Awesome. Aaron, what's your role?
I am the Senior Vice President of Sales and Marketing and for the company, and work for this amazing person.
Yeah. All right, Jean Ann, you've been in it. So 80s, you got started. You've seen the shifts. You're in new construction. Just give us your unfiltered take right now.
Oh, great. Well, it's a good one, actually. So we did start in 1985, and and then in 86, the savings and loan and the oil crisis started kind of coming our way. 87, full blown, bam, and we had a huge recession. So that was the first recession, and we had started the company on $25,000. So it's not like we were flush with cash, and we were competing against the publicly traded companies, the big companies. At the time, there was U.S. Homes, Jim Craft General, Fox and Jacobs, Centennial, just all the big guys. And so we weathered that storm, and then we weathered after post 9/11. We had the tech crisis. We have been through 3 recessions, and here's what I know is certain. This is in good times, and this is in challenging times. But most importantly, in challenging times, people are still buying homes. So today, people are still buying homes. The second thing that is certain is that people, we have to understand that this is going to pass, whether it's a recession or a pandemic or good times, right? In our industry, it's this too shall pass. So this pandemic is going to pass. Well, okay. This one may feel like a kidney stone passing, but it's still going to pass.
Yeah.
So I learned that on this one. And then the third thing is the reason that I chose home building, one of the reasons that I chose home building is because there is always a demand for housing. There is always a demand for the American dream. And the good thing about this particular challenge in our market is in the last 3 recessions, home building has been the epicenter of the problem. We were the hardest hit industry. So in this particular challenging market, we are likely going to be what leads the nation to the other side of this. We are the industry that is going to carry this nation forward. And so we've never had that before. So we had this wonderful opportunity. We finally have what's the highest demand in the country. Well,
that's a great message. And not only do you have an opportunity, we got to share that message out with everyone to keep the consumer confidence up.
Yes, yes. Well, so I have some good news about that.
Okay.
When this started and everybody was saying, whoa, what's happening here? I'm off my game here. I was having the best year I've ever had. And now what just happened? We were selling about 100 to 110 homes a week. And after like that very first week when we were all kind of like shocked, we sold between 50 and 55 homes for the next 3 weeks. And I was delighted that we were doing that. Mm-hmm. But this last week, we sold 82 homes. So we are almost back where we were. So I think the message here is, remember, people are always buying homes. And remember, this is going to pass. And the other thing is there's always a demand for housing. So now people want out of those apartments, right? They want to buy a home. So here's what I have learned as well, that when you're in a challenging market, there are a couple of things that you have to do. You have to be adaptable. I mean, that's the word everybody's using. Look at us. We're on a Zoom. Instead of me being at your office, having a breakfast with you, or you coming to our models, we're on a Zoom call. So you have to be adaptable. You have to be flexible. And listen, I'm 65 years old. And me looking at this, I'm very much outside my comfort zone. So I have my little headband on to distract everybody. I have my little friend here with me, anything to distract from this. But, we have to adapt.
65, I think most women would agree.
You're sweet. So we have to adapt, and we have a choice. Yeah. We can either stick our head in the sand and say, I'm not doing this. This is going to pass. You know what? This is going to pass. But this whole thing, people are getting, there's going to be a lot more of this. And this was coming our way anyway. I mean, everyone has talked about how things are going to change and people are buying online, and we see it. This was probably 5 to 7 years away from us, and it just got kind of dumped in our laps. So we have to embrace this. We have to be adaptable. We have to be flexible. The other thing that I learned is that this is so important. We have to be bold. I mean, bold. We have to think outside the box. And that's uncomfortable. You know, we get in our spot. We love where we are. We're doing great. We've got this. And now that's not working for us as much as it was. So we have to think outside the box about how are we going to adjust? What's our adaptability look like? And so we have that. And then the most important thing, no matter where we are, is that we have to believe. We have to believe in ourselves. We have to believe in our team. We have to believe that we've got this. That's critical. So I have a little story about that. It's very short to share with you, to kind of show you. It's one thing for me to talk about it, but what does that look like? So when we started the company in 1985 on $25,000, I had worked in an industry where builders did not go broke. They didn't work with realtors. I worked for a company. When a realtor would walk in, if they didn't know any better, I would say, I'd love to sell you a home, but I cannot, I can't pay you a commission. So when we started Highland Homes, I was bold. I was adaptable. I thought outside the box. I said, we're going to pay realtors, because no one knew who we were. We were in this little town called Rowlett, Texas, and we sold 13 homes our first month we opened. That was unheard of. And then the savings and loan debacle came to Texas, and the oil crisis. So there wasn't a worse place to be in the United States than Texas to build homes. And here we were. So all of the other builders were saying, we don't want to pay the realtors. And so they were wanting to not have realtors in their bid, because they were looking at their bottom line. And I said, I'm going to be bold. I'm going to up the ante. We're going to start a 3, 4, 5 bonus program. And that's where that came in for our industry. We started the 3, 4, 5 program. And because what I wanted to do, what I know is that we need realtors. And realtors need a builder they can trust, that values them, that sees them as part of the team, and we can work together. So that's what has carried us through the last 3 recessions. So this relationship that we've built with realtors, and realtors know they can trust us and that we can trust them, and we've got each other's back. Why wouldn't we do that in our industry? It makes no sense to me. So I started thinking about, how can we help realtors today? What can we do to support the realtor community? So I didn't come up with all of this. But I have a whole team at Highland Homes to support the realtor community. And that would be one of those that you guys aren't familiar with, is our IT department. And I said, let's make it so easy and the experience so wonderful for realtors and their clients to sell with us virtually. I want to be ahead of the game. I want to come out of this box, and I want it to be so that a realtor who really doesn't have this IT team, maybe at their, I kind of have them at my beck and call to help. How about we set it up so that realtors, all they have to do is pick up the phone and call a sales counselor that they like, or call our concierge service and say, I have this client. And I'm not sure because I'm not out looking at product and what's on the, where do I go? All you have to do is call that number. And so with this wonderful system set up, and Aaron Graham would be, why don't you talk to them about it, Aaron, and tell them about our virtual selling?
Yeah, you know, Jean Ann mentioned that in a situation like we're in, you have to adapt. And our adaptation was, hey, people may be fearful in coming out to our models or our inventory homes, but we know people still need homes, as Jean Ann pointed out. So it required a whole team to do a whole lot of adapting, but they pulled it off. And we now have the ability to sell a home from beginning to end, from demonstrating the model to having the keys delivered to your home, even a mobile notary to do the closing, so that this can be done, this entire process can be done virtually. A lot of our salespeople struggled with that, maybe some more than others, because talking to somebody and selling a home or helping a buyer buy a home through a video conference is a lot different experience, but we did it. And even though, just as Jean Ann said, you have to try new things. And so that's what we did. The result is we've had about a dozen or so people in the last 3 weeks buy homes virtually. And by the way, all age groups. This is not just millennials buying online like that. It's all age groups. And the thing we've been saying as we show them a lot for a build job or an inventory home or the model is, if you like it virtually, you're going to love it when you see it in person. And so it's been a really, I won't say an easy transition, but one that we just put our minds to it, and it's worked. So I don't know, Jean Ann, if you want to add anything to that.
Well, so yes, there is. So as I said, I'm 65, and I didn't grow up with a cell phone in my hand. And so this would be hard for me to know until I'd done it a few times how to sell virtually. I think it's important that the realtors, you guys need to understand you don't have to understand how to do it. We will take you, all you have to do is call us, and we can meet your client, and we will walk hand in hand and walk your client through the process. And your client will never know that you don't quite understand the entire process, but we will keep you relevant. We will make sure they see that you are the one that's leading the sale here, and we're just there to assist you. So they won't know if this is something new to you, but we'll walk hand in hand with you. So I think it's important for you to know that you don't have to understand the process. You just have to call us, and we'll get it taken care of. The other thing I want to mention is I talked to 4 realtors, well, this week actually, that said, I've got these clients, but they postponed their move, and they're not coming in. They were coming in this month, and I was excited about selling a Highland, and so now they're not coming. That's okay. It will not hurt to go ahead and contact them and start to get them comfortable with the process. And we are selling homes virtually. I am shocked. I was so excited with the first one, and now it's a pretty common occurrence for us. So it's just getting them to, they'll spend time with you guys, because they're in their homes. So I would say just know you don't have to understand it. Just call us. And then we're also open, right? It says we're open by appointment only, but we are open. Our sales counselor is sitting inside that office, even though it says we're open by appointment only. And so all you have to do is just call if you pull up to the model, and the sales counselor's in there. So you can still come to the model and bring your clients. We just did that to keep the people in the neighborhood who had these precious children locked up in their home and going through our models. But we're doing a lot of things to keep it safe. Aaron, why don't you kind of talk about the things that we're doing to ensure safety in our models?
Well, that was another way we had to adapt. And just briefly, we clean our models every day. We clean our specs after we've had anybody come through. And open by appointment only does mean open. Still, even with as many virtual sales as we've had, most of our buyers have still been in person. And we've just limited group sizes to 2 or 3 people in the model at a time. and everyone appreciates it, and no one's inconvenienced by it. And we're just, the health and safety and well-being of our sales staff, of you guys as realtors, your clients, it's top of mind for us. But it hasn't let us slow down. We've had to adapt, and everybody adapted. This may be interesting to the folks on the call. I get asked this question probably 5 times a day, and that is Highland Homes going to start any new inventory homes? As you probably are aware, most home builders have hit the pause button on starting new inventory. Some have even stopped construction in some places. Highland continues to sell build jobs. We continue to build jobs. We also continue to build all the specs that we had started. But we did decide to put a slight pause just to see where the dust settled, as have most builders. So if you think about that, that means if you have a client who wants to buy a new home, a new construction home, that inventory in Houston is finite and shrinking at present. And we also understand that, the number of homes listed for resale on MLS or HAR is also limited. So not that you're trying to create any kind of false sense of urgency, but there's real urgency. At some point, we'll all start building new inventory homes. But for the moment, it's finite and it's shrinking. And so if they want to get in before school in the fall, which we all hope school starts in the fall, right? All the ones with parents with children home. That's just a point to make. As a company across the state, last week we had 670 inventory homes. We sold 60 of them last week. So that's almost 10%. Again, we'll start some at the right point, but there could be a little bit of a shortage of inventory. So if your buyers are waiting, saying, oh, I think prices are going to come down, I don't think they're going to come down.
Yeah, good take. All right, final shot. What do you got? That's some great, and more importantly, just not the new construction. I love your mindset. I love the adapting. These are just great, thriving techniques in any business that we're doing. Leave us with the final shot. I don't care if it's buy a Highland home or encouragement. I don't even care if it's about some of your incentives that you put in. Share with us some final thoughts.
Well, I think as the CFO, the Chief Fun Officer, I should take this, Mr. Graham.
Yes,
well, so it's kind of, again, trying to figure out what does the market need besides virtual selling. One of the things is that, how can we support the realtor community? We have the 3-4-5 program. We've got our relocation program. But in addition to that, I know a lot of realtors, because the business has slowed down a little bit, that they need to sell specs if they can right now. And so we've put some bonus money on our specs that are sold by the end of June. And so that's a $3,000 bonus. That's on top of the bonus money in the relocation. That is just $3,000 bonus on top of that. But then what about these buyers? So we know that there's going to be this pent up demand for buyers, right? Because if you knock on any apartment door and say, hey, would you like to buy a home today? They would say, yes, get me out of this apartment. But they don't have necessarily the funds to do that. So how can we help with that? So we have $7,000 in closing costs for people who maybe they were going to buy this next year within the year, but they were a little short on funds. So we want to help with that. So we have a $7,000 bonus. Not bonus, but closing cost for the buyers. And then, we've got this greatest show, this really fun party that we're going to have after realtors have sold 3 homes between December 1st and June the 30th. And we're going to have this big party. We're going to give away $5,000 to every single realtor, plus a $2,000 Jean Ann fun, fabulous gifts. And the more you sell, the more of that you get. But it was going to end June the 30th, but we have extended it through Labor Day just to kind of give you again some support, because all of this is about that supporting each other, doing what we can do to help each other. So that was my what
That was
would you
good take.
yes, okay.
I think everyone on here 100 plus is you want to go to that show, by the way.
Oh yes, absolutely. Greatest show.
Greatest show. Aaron, any final thoughts?
Just to echo what Jean Ann said, you know, the world is changing, but our commitment to you guys is not. I hope that's evidenced by everything we've done in the past, what Jean Ann just shared today, and what you're going to experience with us in the future. So we really, really, really appreciate the relationship.
No, that was awesome. Take back. I love the comment was, I love how you guys are constantly brainstorming and thinking outside of the box. I do know your relationship with your real estate agents is really prevalent to you. Not only just on commission, but taking care of them as well. And you guys have a very good product and you're Texas owned, right? How could you not like that?
Yeah.
Right.
I wanted to say that, Chad and I are drawn to particular companies with, they're like-minded with us and just have very good customer service, just value in people, value in your product. You don't try to cut corners. And we just really appreciate that. Yes, you'll do a lot of fun things, but even if you didn't do all those fun things, Highland Homes is very respected, your product and just the way you treat other realtors. And that means a lot to us because I can't tell you how many battles we've had to go up against with builders completely cutting out the realtor when it was very obvious we are and were the procuring cause. And it's such a shame because we can totally help each other out. Yes. And Aaron, just a couple of months ago, before all this happened, you and I had a great conversation about the market for this year and talking about projections. Boy, things changed a little bit that I don't think either one of us could have predicted.
No, but we adapted, didn't we? We're adapting.
That's right. And guys, just like Chad said, the big takeaback for me, the words you said, flexible, adaptability, those are huge. And there's some things that we're preaching to, and it's just fun to hear you guys doing that. I am so super, super impressed with your virtual selling and what you've done to step outside the box and do that, because that's what Chad and I have been saying. You can still sell homes. It's just going to be a little different. And that is exactly what we're talking about. I think that is awesome. You didn't let a little virus scare you guys and keep you from moving forward. You are moving forward. You're taking your unfair share of the market, just like we're going to be doing too. So thank you guys so much for sharing with us today.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Great value there. All right.
Good to meet you. Bye.
Thank you.
All right. We're moving on to the next stage here. We got some people jumping in. And if you guys didn't see there, they do have the Highland Home Concierge number on there. So you can jump on there if you need as well. All right. We got it.
Chad, let me just, in case someone didn't see it, that number is 888-379-1635. Put that in your phones, guys, because that is a great tool to have to be able to call them. So good job.
All right. Awesome. All right. Let's go to the lender world first. Dale, you ready? Give us your feedback. Where are we? Give us your take right now.
Well, obviously changes continue in the world. We got a notification through TSHAC, which is the Texas state down payment assistance program that's out there. And they have notified everyone that as of May the 4th, if you are working with a person doing down payment assistance and they are looking to get an FHA or government loan, that in order to get that loan done, and if they have high percentage of debt, they're going to require a 700 minimum FICO score, even on down payment assistance. And what we mean by high percentage is anything over 45% debt to income ratios. So you're going to want to make sure that if you have anyone working with the lender, that lender gets that loan registered right away with TSHAC, or that thing's going to bust out. The other thing that we're looking at is there are other lenders that have made some changes. Chase being one of them that we kind of pick on each week has now said that anyone that has a home equity line of credit that's with them, they may start to pull back some of the money that is in that line of credit. They are no longer going to be doing home equity lines of credit. Those programs kind of work like a checkbook. You've got great equity in your house. We're going to say that you can borrow up to X dollars. When you decide that you want some extra money in your bank account to go on a trip or do something, you write yourself a check and then you start making payments on it. Well, they are starting to say, we're not going to any longer do those. We will continue to do a cash out refinance, which is completely different type of loan, but home equity lines of credit are going away. So I would just advise that you all really stay on top of your buyers. The buyers are there. You can call them. They're dying to hear from you as agents right now, to stay in front of them and find out where they stand in the whole process.
Okay. All right. Any other takeaways you'd want to share with the, I'm posting that number there. I learned some things on Zoom on the chat box. Nimesh, thanks. All panelists and attendees. You got to hit both. Anything else you want us to share? Where's the greatest opportunity in the lending world right now?
I think the greatest opportunity is going to be in the lending world that you that are working with buyers have the buyers ready at the starting line, ready to make offers. I think that once everyone gets over this and people are started allowing you to come and enter their homes, that the opportunity is going to be there for those that are fully prepared. I got an offer, a letter that I sent out yesterday from an agent. She's called me today just to verify, is this person ready to go? And I think that more and more the conversation is going to be, do we truly have qualified buyers that are walking through our home?
Yeah.
And you know, your buyers are going to miss out, and you're going to make lots and lots of offers on homes if those guys are not ready to go, and you're going to be spinning your wheels. So make sure they're good, qualified, valid buyers that are in a position to buy right away.
All right. Somebody asked about jumbo loans. What's the update on jumbo loans?
Jumbo loans, we're having to find local lenders, local banks that are doing these. The big banks that are out there, Wells, Chase, Bank of America, are just not wanting to lend those funds. If they have bank accounts that have large amounts of money in those banks, they are willing to at least have the conversation about a jumbo loan. But some of the qualifications, requirements in regards to minimum credit scores, they've also increased those. So local banks right now, I know that Amegy, I know that BBVA is doing them. There's a couple of lenders that we work with for jumbo money too. So call me, I'd love to help you and give you some insight on maybe where we could get those deals done for them.
Okay, awesome. All right, Nimesh, technology, command, what you got?
All right.
Go away, Dale. I'll give you a final shot at the end.
Awesome. All right. Hey, hope everybody's doing all right. Thanks for having me. So we're going to start out today by letting everybody know that now, since the turn of the calendar, we actually are getting market center statistics, okay, when it comes to command adoption now, okay? And what's happening with those statistics is actually we're being compared regionally with all the market centers in our region, which is about 20 plus. And the numbers that we're seeing there, I mentioned it earlier, actually, in the month of February, we did really, really well. And we were second in growth for adoption. And but in March, those numbers have slipped and we weren't even mentioned. So I kind of wanted to put it out there that, hey, like these numbers are out there. So let's see what we can do about moving forward. The three main aspects are opportunities, our contacts and database, and smart plans. And if we put a percentile on these, the opportunities and our contacts and database as a market center whole, we're probably getting about a 40 percentile. So, hey, is that the worst out there in our region? No, it's not, but yet we can still do much better than that. And then smart plans, as far as smart plans go, we have a 23% adoption rate right now in smart plans. And with smart plans, that means just sending one smart plan. So only 23% of our office is sending has sent even one smart plan. So we really want to get on that. I really want to get on that. So next week's, I think Tuesday training will be on smart plans. That's where we can get people to start utilizing that, because that's a pretty awesome tool to have. I do want to shout out to two agents in our office. They're tenured agents, and when I saw their name on top of this list, I was pleasantly, I'll be honest, I was pleasantly surprised. Yet it's awesome that they've adopted at the level they have, and if they can do it, everybody can. So that special shout out is to Mark Burgess and to Sharon Parker. Both of them in the opportunity segment are at around 100, approximately 100 opportunities created. And that is awesome. That's even more than me. That's awesome. So special shout out to you two.
Yeah.
Really, really awesome. I'm really proud of that. Speaking of, all right, so now let's get into that was my soapbox for a couple of minutes there. So now let's get into the updates, and I will segue into, I'm going to share a screen, into opportunities. A cool opportunity update that we are having is that once we move, and you may not have this quite yet, possibly it was going to go live any day. So you may have it. If not, it's going to be coming in the coming days. And what this is you're going to be able to go into settings and set up when a client is going to get an email update trigger. Okay, so whenever you move an opportunity from one stage to another, it will automatically trigger an email to them letting them know that they are now in this particular stage and what that means. Okay, so it's going to save you, and that will be an immediate. You can set what times those triggers go out, and that'll be a great quick update without you having to do anything for your client. Okay, and this is on top of the guides that you're building into the app. All right, so that's the first thing. The second, so that was an opportunity update. The second is going into campaigns now. Now already live for everybody is the campaigns dashboard. Okay, so you get an overview of how your ads are doing, how your campaigns are doing, and you can do it for the past month, year to date, or the past 12 months total. And then some of your best performing campaigns, some quick posts that you can post directly to your social media on behalf of provided to you by Keller Williams. All I have to do is come find this update, hit the arrow, and then go ahead and post it straight to your social media just like that without having to create anything. All right. Oops, I didn't mean to click on that and get stuck. All right. So that's a pretty neat feature that's added. It's kind of a dashboard for campaigns now. All right. Speaking of campaigns, I want to remind everybody about the promo that we are still running as a market center. That is, you can get reimbursed up to $200 on an ad that you run in April, right? Run the ad in April. The best part about it is you can receive leads directly with a name, email address, and phone number directly into command from those ads, okay? And you can set the budget at what you like. Subsequently, you need to have a closing between the months of May and July, so May, June, or July, and you can get reimbursed all the way up to $200, okay, on your agent bill. So that is currently running. And for those of you that have never run an ad yet, there's an additional KWRI promo, which is $25 off of $75 ad. Okay, so reach out to Norman or I if you'd like more details on the
So basically meaning if you have a closing in May, June, and July, there's $200 sitting there for you. Go use
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
You're right. That's a free ad right there if you already have one, down in the pipeline. All right, so on the consumer side, quickly, what we were toying with and what Gary Keller was being careful of is making sure about privacy and consumer privacy and how much we can access, okay? And he was erring on the side of caution. Well, after a lot of pushback, we've realized that KWRI Labs that we probably need a little more info on the consumer side because our system has the capabilities to provide it. All right, so moving forward, we're going to be starting to see that slide towards info being provided to us, okay? So basically more info is going to be provided to us. Search activity, okay, neighborhoods, collections, which is our word for favorites, okay? Anything that's viewed on the app or on the consumer side, we are going to be able to see that in the timeline, all right? So that moving forward, we're going to be able to see that here very soon. The custom guide builders, I know I foreshadowed that already. Right now they're generic, but that is coming really close around the corner now, okay? So you're going to be able to do the custom guide builder. So you can make a luxury buyers and sellers guide. You can make first-time buyers, sellers guide, etc. So when they launch the app under you, they will have that particular guide, okay, to follow along with the opportunity, okay, as you slide it. There is going to be another big app update next week, all right, so stay tuned for that, and that's where some of these updates are going to come into play. One of those updates in the consumer app is going to be virtual tours, all right, so this goes with the app and the landing pages / your agent site, all right, virtual tours. You're going to be able to upload virtual tours that's slightly different from the MLS virtual tours. This you're going to be able to have your logo and you and all that kind of stuff in it, and this will actually supersede the it will override the MLS virtual tour. Okay, so anybody that's accessing it from the KW side, the KW consumer side, will be able to see this virtual tour. Okay, and the other option that's going to come in there is the consumer is going to be able to schedule a tour from the app. There's going to be schedule a tour button that's going to go live, you will get a notification that this consumer wants to schedule a tour for this particular house, and you can go ahead and reach out and schedule that. So that's going to be a neat feature. Okay, so an update on all these app features and some other new ones that are going to be coming around a corner. Marty Miller is actually going to be joining us as a market center, okay, specifically for our market center to go over some of these updates on May 4th, I believe, at 2 p.m. Now that date and time is tentative, but that's what he's got penciled in right now. I just spoke with him this morning, and so we'll get you updated on that as that gets a little closer, okay, but just a little FYI on that. All right, quickly moving over to KWSW25. Last week we talked about it. I'm showing it to you right now for those of you that have not gone to it or have not seen it or have no clue what it's about. It is our now personal website as a market center for you to come and see your training, see the schedule, and have a lot of access to information while you're not in the office, all right? So a simple address, kwsw25.com. Here's the home page. You always have these permanent static links right here for team meetings every Wednesday. You can just click right here, join the team meeting. Keith's morning masterminds, shift masterminds every Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 8:30, right here, okay? Bold Pivot, which is starting on May 4th at a heavily discounted price. Link and information right here on kwsw25.com, all right? Plus the KWRI daily schedule for webinars, all right? The Pivot Shift Ahead program, all from KW Connect, all right here. You can go directly from KWSW25, all right? Up at the top, you have the main menu right here, training schedule. This is what you need to just come to every day to see the Zoom links, all right? Once you click on it, it loads. Here's everyday schedule. You're probably gonna have about a 2 or 3 day advance notice on these Zoom links, okay? You just gotta click on where it says KW Zoom link, all right, registration link or connect link, and you can add them to your calendars as well, all right? Videos are broken up into previous team meetings, command training videos, additional training videos, PC program training videos, and Keith's Shift Mastermind videos, and other KWRI Shift Mastermind videos. All right, so they're all in the video tab. All right, resources, COVID-19 documents. If you'd like to go over and see them, they're all right here, along with some Pivot Shift Ahead docs, and our logos are all right here for you to access in resources. Announcements, you can come to announcements. You saw my campaign ad promo earlier. That's where I had pulled it up from. These announcements are going to give you, you know, the information that we have to share. Just stay tuned for it. I believe Christina Nichols has a cool thing set up for us next week or the week after that. You're going to be seeing it here pretty soon. All right, so stay tuned for that. All right, so that goes over that. Now, the last but not least, I'm wearing the shirt on purpose. It's a Red Day shirt. You guys probably can't see it. I'm sure Kamal will keep us updated on what we're doing as a market center as far as, you know, how
Mike Day. Mike Day's going to update us right now.
Oh, Mike Day. Is he doing that today?
Yeah, Mike's coming on.
Perfect. So you can segue right into it. All right. So what we're doing from the tech side, I just want to take a couple of seconds because we just got this info yesterday or the day before from the tech side. Just in case we know that it's going to be a little more difficult this time around to do what we're going to do. And I hope I'm not stealing any thunder from Mike here. But from the tech side, we have a program what we're calling paintitred.tech. Okay, so you can go to paintitred.tech to get this info. And what we're doing is we're highlighting any small businesses that you love and you have right here in our community. You want to submit that by May 3rd. All right, and just go to this website to get more info. Okay, on again, it's paintitred.tech. Submit your favorite small businesses. Tell us a little bit about it. And then we're going to be pushing that forward in the dates that you see right there between the 11th and 16th. And we're going to try to, shed light on those businesses, with it throughout the community, okay, through Yelp, I believe. All right. So obviously Mike's going to go maybe into that a little more. I'm going to close it out with the schedule. With the quarantine going on right now, you have a lot of access to me. Mondays at 11 with Norman and I, we do the tech masterminds. Please join us there. Last week's was really awesome. I believe the great Gary Sternagel is going to try to join us as often as possible. He shed a lot of light on some pretty great information as well. Tuesdays, you may get me all day, possibly at 9:30s in the morning, and definitely at 1 o'clock and 6 o'clock for a mastermind, all right? And then Thursdays at 9:30, join me at tomorrow. Oh, I believe I kind of skipped that. I apologize. So again, round 2, if you missed the ads class, or for the campaign ads, to run the ads, to participate in the ads promo, if you missed it 2 weeks ago, I'm doing it again tomorrow at 9:30. The campaigns, command campaigns ads class, all right, is going to be tomorrow at 9:30. All right, that's it.
All right, okay, Mike Day, Red Day, what's it going to look like this year?
Hi, everybody. There we go.
Look at that beard. Look at that beard coming in.
Yeah. Anyway, we at the last ALC meeting, it became clear that we couldn't do what we typically do on Red Day, where we all gather on a big, huge project together. And we kind of did a quick brainstorm, and it became very clear almost immediately that the thing that we could best help the community right now is to have a food drive. And Linda has been involved with the East Fort Bend Human Needs Ministry for several years now, and we've helped and done things with them in the past, and of course they are giving a lot of food out now. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10 to 12, they provide help to anybody that comes up. No questions asked, only, how many people in the family, and they will provide a food and put it in the people's trunk. So if any of the agents know of someone that needs help, please let them know that this is an avenue. They're located at 435 Stafford Run, which is sort of you think of Avenue E and Highway 90. It's just around the corner from there. Their website is humanneeds.org, just as it's spelled. So what we're going to do on Red Day with these folks is on the 14th of May from 10 to 1, we're going to have a big truck from the ministry there, and we'll be collecting food items for them. So if all the agents would, if they have a donation, that'd be great, with food or cash or a check, would be wonderful. Anytime between on the 14th, between 10 and 1, if they could bring it by. If they would like to tell their clients, their SOI, that we're looking for help, that would be great too. They could come by and it would be out there in the parking lot for us. We'll have a bin available in the office that if agents want to bring food in earlier, I probably wouldn't encourage this because we don't want to get too much in there and have to deal with, getting it downstairs out into the parking lot. But if you need to bring it in early, we'll have a bin there available for you. There is a list of items that they need. We'll get that list out to all the agents. It's also on the website, but just briefly, I'll tell you, it's instant oatmeal packets, canned soup, canned tomatoes, hamburger, tuna, chicken helper, dry beans of any kind, peanut butter or cheese sandwich crackers, canned mixed vegetables, canned meat, canned pasta, or Vienna sausages. And they particularly say, don't bring us the big, huge Sam's Club can for 50 people. They can't deal with that. Just, the smaller cans is best.
I think that's a great alternative and a great pivot and a shift on that. So we want a great ministry. We partnered with them in the past. Let's make sure that we go out. Your wife said, and toiletries as well. And so that day is the truck will be here, and let's drive our clients to give to them. Let's drive it, and let's do it in a big way to give back at a high level. And we'll keep sounding that off and sending that message as well. Okay. All right, final shots. Dale, what you got?
Well, so one big word that's out there right now that people are potentially taking advantage of is forbearance. And I want everybody to understand what forbearance is. And basically it is stating that we are going to delay your payments being due for the next 3 months. So forbearance is viewed as a financial crisis / situation that the potential buyer or person is going through. When you go through forbearance, the lenders may forgive those payments for 3 months. That 4th month, all 4 of your payments are due. So if people are currently working, do not advise any of them to take the forbearance if it means that all they're doing is just delaying their monthly payments. 4 mortgage payments all at one time is a big hit. So I would suggest that if you have buyers or have potential clients that are working and considering delaying their payments, that if there is a way to do it, that they do not do that. You know, around holiday times, and we spend a lot of money, January, the bills come, this is going to be very similar to that time if you're all of a sudden burdened with maybe 4 payments. Secondly, communicate with all of your clients. They are sitting at home, potentially available at all times. If you're not contacting them on a consistent basis to let them know that you're still here, you're still in business, and when it's time, you're going to be ready to take them and move them forward to buying a house, someone else is doing that if you're not staying in contact with them. I get phone calls every other day from people saying, well, where do we stand? And I think out of boredom, that they are just wanting to hear from someone. So keep that in mind. Just stay in contact with clients in any medium that you can come up with.
Okay, great. All right, celebrity, have an update? You got to turn it off. Hold on. Let's get you off of unmute. You're ready now. Go. Introduce yourself because most of the group doesn't know you.
Okay. My name is Letitia Townsend. I'm with Celebrity Title. I manage the sales and marketing team. While Christina's out having her baby and taking care of her family, I'll be the point of contact for sales for you all. I just want to say hello to everyone and those who haven't met me. Nice to meet you. As far as title is concerned, we have a few updates last week. I know that we had an opportunity to post on your internal Facebook page a letter that was sent out from TLTA to Governor Greg Abbott regarding e-notarization, wet signatures, doing things remotely, recognizing that the stay-at-home, stay-safe work order is hindering the sales process and closing process in regards to title. So as of this morning, we are anticipating there being a actual directive that has been put out from Governor Abbott. I spoke with Westcor today, which is one of our 4 underwriters, just to ask them how they were feeling, what was going on regarding that letter. And from my understanding, based on what I've seen from actually Greg Abbott on his website, in addition to the underwriters' information, we're just waiting for the directive. As soon as the directive happens and it's in writing and in ink, then we're in a whole different world. And what that means for you as a realtor is the availability to get your clients to notarize power of attorneys via conferencing, which is currently not that option. We always have to have, even if we do a closing that's completely remote, there's always 1 or 2 forms that have to be notarized in person. So this will give you the availability, or your clients the availability, to shift a little bit. If you have persons in your network that you're working that are uncomfortable, don't necessarily want to go out and would rather have a power of attorney happen for them, this gives them the availability to do that electronically and remotely. So with that being said, there are a lot of restrictions on it. Please note that we're working through it. The underwriters are working through it because all of that has to be approved by everyone. As you all know, title, we don't get to make the rules, we just get to follow the rules. So what that means for us is that in regards to lenders, if your lender does not accept that as a form of notary, then that would not be accepted for us. If the underwriters, for whatever reason, do not want to accept that, that would also be, once again, a no. I do know that I'm reaching out to our 4 underwriters just to make sure when that trigger is pulled, that we're all on the same page and we're all ready to do business. And so we're just kind of chomping at the bit and waiting. Unfortunately, as you all know, waiting at home and waiting for things to happen. We're all just kind of learning and working through this process. And with notarizing remotely, Celebrity Title has been on the forefront of that. We've been doing that a lot longer than most people in this market center or marketplace, excuse me. So just know that I'm keeping track of all that. While Christina is out, I will be your point of contact. So you're probably going to get bombarded with information. I like information. It makes me happy to be in the know of what's happening, and not just in title, but in real estate. I really actually enjoyed being on this call. I had a minute where I wasn't in right, but I got to see the whole call, and it's enlightening. I like to stay on the cusp of what's happening with real estate. So if you need anything from me, I'm going to give my information out to however I'm supposed to give it out. Chad, how am I supposed to give my information
Put it on
out?
the chat.
Okay, I'll put it on the chat. That would be the best way. So you guys all have my information. You also still have the information from downstairs, which is Celebrity Title Sugarland. They're all still available to answer any questions as well. But if any of you have any questions or would like to reach out to me, I look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, great. All right, Mike, Nimesh, anything we missed?
I actually want to tag team with Mike on this one. We did get a question here regarding a flyer for Red Day. I'm sure, Mike, you and I can probably get together and figure something out there. I think it's probably a decent idea.
Yeah, we'll help create something.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea, Nimesh, and I'll go ahead on the chat here and put out the humanneeds.org is the website, and 435 Stafford Run is the address. And please, all the agents, if you have folks in need that you're aware of, let them know about this. And also tell your other clients that, here's a way for them to help too. They're probably looking for ways to donate and to be a help in the community now. So it's a great way for you to get in touch with them and have a nice chat to do something good for everyone.
Okay, awesome. And you, Lee, from Reliant, she has a post in there just about saving some money. And if you haven't visited Reliant personally yourself, it might be a way to cut from expenses right away. So look into that. All her contact information is in the chat as well. Andy, any final shots?
I didn't mute myself. I just want to thank you guys for being on. You've all given some great information. I love what's going on with our KWSW25 site. That's great. Kudos to you, Nimesh, and thank you for all the training that you're doing. Mike, super excited about Red Day. Been wondering what we're going to do. This is a great opportunity. Another excuse just to be able to reach out to your people, guys, and you'll get to even just drop by and pick up the food. Tell them you will come by and pick up the food for them. They don't even have to go out. So you're just doing more. Dale, you're always giving great information, always learn something every time. And Letitia, I really appreciate your thoughts today too. This mobile virtual notary stuff, it really needs to be done. I hope that the lender world and the underwriters agree and accept it. But I appreciate all the information. Thank you guys so much for today. It's a good call.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'll tell you, this is such a great opportunity to get into command and use the tool. We had a huge producer in Louisiana going, I want to be in it so bad. It doesn't run my team the way I want to. And yet he's pushing out ads and doing business at a high level. That's just the way top people is. Get discipline, right? We got to still get into discipline and routine. Andy's sitting there and she has a kid next to her if you wonder why she's distracted. We get that, right? We got all sorts of things that are going on. Get in a routine, get some of these big items. This is an opportunity we're not going to see again. And so call your database. We got a great Red Day. We got some great technology. You got some great information on knowledge, what's going on, right? We listened from a top producer. We listened to the home builders. We've listened to lender and title. We know what's going on. It's more important that we educate. Jean Ann said this, and I hope you hear it. Real estate is not causing this recession like in 2008. It is different, and real estate is strong. It's going to pull us out of this. So get out there. Aaron said on there is the inventory of turnkey properties is going to get eaten up, right? It's going to go away too. So if we got some people that need to make a move, now's a great time to do it. So thanks again for joining us.
Hang on, Chad, before you go. Can I just, one more thing?
Sure.
First of all, since Andy called out the site, I know that I'm the one that you guys, see on here right now while we're all away, but KWSW, it turned out pretty awesome. And it was a collaborative effort between myself, Norman, Greg, and Jessica, Chad's cyber EA. And we put it together in 4 days. We're really proud of it, but it was definitely the four of us that worked on that.
It's just one spot. I don't know about you, but I seem like every day I'm searching for a Zoom link, right? It's just one spot to go to and resource, and it's all right there.
Definitely was a great idea. Absolutely. The second thing was you just called out Teams, we've had a massive update in Teams. So there's a lot of teams that are basically going to be able to utilize it now. I'm going to dive deep into that. So if you want, like, I can probably do a Teams update next.
Okay. Awesome. All right. All appointment. Let us know how we can help. Let's go sell some homes. We put that market share. You know, we do hold the market share in Sugar Land, Missouri City, Richmond combined. Like, nobody sells more real estate and houses than we do. But it's just like this. We have an opportunity to just crush the competition. Let's go do it. Get yours. The office is going to get those. We're going to be highly successful. All right. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.